Hi guys, my name is Sean. I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a tour to see all my dad's plants. He's actually a pretty big plant collector, although he usually does it because he likes the value of the plants. He likes expensive plants, and he's repeatedly told me to throw away all my cheap plants. But I guess there's different kinds of plant parents and people collect plants for different reasons. But I just want to throw it out there that I guess it's basic human behavior or sociology that anything that your dad finds cool and amazing, you're probably never going to agree with. So yeah, I actually grew up around these plants. They have been around the house for a long time, even before my houseplant obsession. And I never really paid much attention to them. I thought they just looked okay because they're just around the house, but I will show you later in the tour that we actually have massive Calatheas and massive staghorn ferns around the house that I don't really feel attracted to them or drawn to them, but only because they are not mine. So without further ado, I'm going to start the tour right here in this area, and I'm going to move from area to area to show you different plants. So right here we have an Encephalardus. We have a lot of them around the house. This one's actually really beautiful. I'm not sure if I can get all of the plant IDs for you, but I can give you a general information on these prehistoric plants. And there's some little ones over here. Yeah, again, I know next to nothing about these. So this is a cool little room here that is surrounded by windows. And it's getting bright indirect light all day because the direct sunlight is never above this area. And as far as I know, these guys actually, they really need full sun, but somehow they're surviving here. So Encephalardus, or in local terms, they like to short name it Ence. They call it Ence here, basically. And these are basically cycads, and they're native to Africa, from dry and arid and sunny conditions, and they are actually very, very endangered. So it is actually quite illegal to have them in some places. They're heavily poached in the wild, in nature, and yeah, it's not a lot of people have them, and I guess I don't have to brag to you guys, but these are actually very, very, very expensive. They are very, very slow growing. And yeah, and they, again, as I mentioned before, they do like full sun. They like a little bit of water, but not too much. Frequent but deep watering. I guess you care for it the same way as your ZZ plants. If I'm not wrong, they are actually in the same family, Zamiaceae family. This one's putting out a new leaf, which is quite amazing. A lot of them are actually putting out new leaves right now. So it must be their growing season. It's rainy right now. So I don't know if these are the same species or not, but these can get big. We have some bigger specimens around the house. Very cute, spiky top. And over there we have some Dracina or Sansevierias. I believe these are the cylindricas. They can get huge. This is quite beautiful. It's got this like feather-like appearance, like very Moulin Rouge. And then yeah, it's got really beautiful leaves. And the leaves are actually cardboard-like if you actually feel it. Just like with a lot of the similar cycad families, they are like that. And yeah, it grows out of a main tube in the middle. Apparently the tube is edible, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, so this is actually pretty trippy. I love putting my camera to this. It's really, really beautiful. I've actually never seen it from up top before, even though I've lived with this plant for, I don't know, 5 to 6 years. How long have I lived here? I think I moved back here 5 years ago from China, from Shanghai. So yeah, and then there's a little one over here. And they grew extremely slowly. I want to take your eyes to the details. Look at how sinister looking the leaves are. Really beautiful. Very, very sharp. I've gotten poked in the arms so many times by these plants. There's a spider here. It's running away from me. Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna take you to other areas of the house. So yeah, that's my that's where we gym. And there's a Song of Jamaica there, which is in the Dracina family. I'm gonna take you inside actually, hang on. So this is that room that we were in before. It's actually quite nice. It's a good view from here. And maybe I should mention that there's these shrubs that run along the edges here, and they are not doing well. I have a feeling because they need direct sunlight. A lot of these plants that are living in more direct sunlight or full sun, they're doing a lot better. But I digress. Here's a Song of Jamaica. This is a Dracaena plant, and it's looking huge. It's reaching the ceiling. Yeah, but it's growing. We've got this about a year ago, and there's a Syngonium living in here. It's so big. So Syngoniums, their leaves will change into this shape as they reach adulthood, and this is attaching itself to that tree. So that's amazing. And one way that I know to water this plant is when the Syngonium is droopy. That's when we know that the potting mix is dry. And okay, let me take you across my gym. Not that I work out a lot. I haven't been working out, you guys. I've been busy. Okay, so yeah, I've seen this around. This is the same species that we saw earlier. Really beautiful, but really sharp. Imagine running into this bush or falling into it. It'll catch you for sure. And this is actually a new leaf. It just unfurled like a week ago. Very beautiful. Look at its fuzzy texture. Oh my god, it's still very soft and fuzzy. Super soft. And it's a little bit, like you can see, it's a lot of fine hair, but the older leaves didn't seem to have those hair. But it is definitely cardboard-like. So yeah, pretty thing. A week ago when it was unfurling, it was actually super tiny, feather-like things that just expanded in size. So they have kind of the same growth pattern as your ZZ plants, and as I mentioned earlier, I think they're in the same family of Zamiaceae family. So they may have the similar growth pattern. That one is actually putting out a lot of new leaves too. And yeah, this one is beautiful too. The leaves are a little bit different. And yeah, it's huge. This thing is as tall as me. I would say this is about 180 centimeters tall. I'm not 180, I'm 174 in case you need to know. But it's huge and it's wide. So yeah. There's a lot of spider webs here. I guess that's good. We don't really have to treat the plant for pests when there's spiders around. So I don't know what this is. Maybe it is a similar species. I don't know if this is Encephalardus. Yeah, but it's pretty nonetheless. And here are some really funky ones. It's like very curly. Yeah, it just curls all over the place. It's pretty weird. There you go. So this is where we lost the audio. Sorry about that. The microphone lost its battery. I should have known better. But now I can say whatever I want because this is me recording a few days in the future. I love these leaves. They look like dragon scale. It's really, really beautiful. Again, these plants are very, very historic looking, and they don't do so well in their natural habitat because they're heavily poached. And I'm assuming that they also don't really propagate that well. They're not really big. Oh, look at this growth point. It's so beautiful. It's like feather-like. It looks like silk cocoon. It's very, very shiny. The camera's not picking it up. But anyways, yeah, these plants, they actually grow very, very, very slowly, and they don't really propagate that well. So we're losing a lot of the species in their natural habitat. So we're growing them, in botanical gardens, and some of them are with private collectors. Hopefully, we can multiply them very soon and share them with the world because, yeah, I don't think it's possible for them to live in their natural habitat anymore because of their price tag. I think they're heavily poached. That's just so sad to hear, but it's just something that happens. It's just human behavior. And these ones are very, very delicate looking. The leaves look like pine needles. However, they're actually very sturdy when you touch them. It's quite intricate actually. This is really well designed plant. It's got this beautiful pineapple-like tuber here. And if you look up close, there's actually this gel-like substance coming out of it. I'm not sure if this is something that the plant is secreting out of defense or if it's something that we put on the plant. I'm not sure. I don't really talk to the gardeners. So yeah, if you know what it is, maybe let us know. And this plant is actually trying to put out new growth. And it's a complicated process. As you can see, the leaves are really tangled up in there. But somehow they managed to push out the new growth. So I guess life finds a way. These trees are just really beautiful to look at. Look at the shapes. It's just so unique. I believe these are palms, and they give my plants underneath some bright indirect light. They are very good shelters, and the leaves do fall off once in a while, and they're huge. And then they become very beautiful decorations if you dry them out. Usually people use them for wedding decorations. They become this brown and yellow leaves. And there's my gardener over there. Hello. He's just minding his own business. And here are my plants that are getting morning direct sunlight. I just have them hanging out here. And here we have a lot more Cycads. We have a lot of them around the house. I don't even count them. There's just, I don't know. They're just not my plants. So I don't mind them that much. And here's some of my cactus that's getting morning direct sunlight. And yeah, there's some, I believe this is a yucca plant. I'm not sure. And these are some baby Cycads. Hello. That's not a leaf. Yeah, hopefully they'll do well. They'll take off. Hello, how are you? This is also a baby. It's a tiny little plant compared to the parents. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. And this one's putting out a new growth here. Very cute. And let me bring you closer to these plants. Yeah, there's some more baby ones hanging out on the side of the home. I don't actually know that they even live here. So my dad actually gave me the species ID, but it was wrong. I guess the seller did not know what it was, but I'm guessing this is in the yucca family. The species that he gave me actually came out as an agave, and this is not an agave. It's a very similar growth pattern to the Dracina, where the leaves will grow upwards and then it will leave behind a bare trunk where the old leaves used to be. It's very beautiful. It's almost tropical-like, but desert-like at the same time. I'm conflicted. Here are some more baby plants, baby Encephalardus hanging out here. And I'm gonna take you to the back of the house where I rarely go. Seriously, I come here less than twice a year, probably. And I remember coming down here to chase my nephew around because he likes to run around the grass, or my dogs, but I never actually paid attention to the plants. Here's some more baby Encephalardus. Again, they're all over the house. I didn't even know they existed, honestly. So there's a patch of plants here, and here we have a huge clump of staghorn ferns. And I actually just noticed them a few months ago after I got my tiny little staghorn fern. I did not know that we had so many here. I believe they started with maybe just one plant, but they will, if they're happy, they'll propagate itself. They just keep growing babies off the side. And there's more, there's a Hypertsia there. Here's one of the piper leaves. And actually the whole tree is covered in piper. This is how they grow in nature, I guess. They're epiphytic. So they will grow up, on trees and stuff, and they'll take over. But they don't steal nutrients from the trees, just in case you were worried. And these guys actually have medicinal properties, which I'm not familiar with. And here's some really funky looking flowers. I'm not sure what they are. They could be in a ginger family, judging from the flower shape and the leaves. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to landscape plants. And here's some Calatheas. I just saw them for the first time now, actually. They have huge Calatheas back here. I may have a small pot of this somewhere in the house because the pattern looked really familiar, but I think mine is super tiny compared to these. They've been living here for a while. And these were just really interesting looking flowers. I don't know what they are. This is just astounding me. They look like little fairies gathering around a plant. Very, very cute. If you guys know what this is, definitely do comment down below. It's just a beautiful shade of white and purples. And I don't know, something about it just mystifies me. And I think the flower actually, this is probably the spent blooms that you see here, and the plants probably kind of bloom from the bottom of the stalk. It kind of ride up like an elevator, maybe. So as the flower reaches to the top, maybe it will just die off. I'm not sure. I actually don't pay much attention to these, even though they're in my home. Sometimes we actually pay attention to plants more when we're outside because we take things for granted at home. So I guess this defeats the purpose of, like, say, a home gym or a home theater, because I don't know, it's just so much better to go outside. And this is a fern. It's growing beautifully here. Oh my god, look at this. These fronds are beautiful. I'm almost tempted to dig this up and put it in the pot, and I may do that someday because I know that the gardeners sometimes take out weed and destroy them, and these are actually quite beautiful. So and ladies and gentlemen, if you look up close, there's a bee here. It's devouring nectars on the flower. Very cute. I don't see any more bees nearby, although there should be more because there's just so many of these flowers hanging out. It's just so alien-like. I love these flowers. And the leaf is actually quite impressive too if you look at the shapes. Very symmetrical and it's got pointy edges. And this is that fern again. It's very beautiful. So here's that golf course that we see all the time in the background of my videos. I never come down here, and apparently there's some plants down here. They belong to the golf course, of course. I'm not sure, or maybe it's our plants, probably. I don't know. These are costus flowering. It's possible that our gardeners tossed some plants down below because we have copies of these plants. And I don't see them growing outside of other homes, so maybe it is our plants. And here's some weird grassy looking plants. Nothing to, oh, look at this one. That's a flower. Hello. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a flower or not, but yeah, that's really cute. And these are some chili plants that we have growing in the home. We started as seeds. I believe my parents brought it back from when they were traveling, and apparently these are very, very spicy, and we do harvest them and we do cook with them. So, but these guys are infested with mealybugs sometimes because I tried to propagate a stem and it was just covered in mealybugs. Yeah, that's the ginger plant, I think, and that's what their flower look like, I think. And a lot of more of these flowers are here. They're growing like weed, I believe. They probably spread underground or somehow they propagate themselves because I don't think we get that many plants in the beginning. And here's some ferns, really beautiful, and they're epiphytic ferns. Or maybe all ferns are epiphytic, I'm not sure. I have a feeling that most ferns, they are epiphytic. Let me take you to the other patch. We actually have another section over here. And actually the plants are mostly duplicates, so I'm gonna go really quickly past them. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't know what to say about these. I mean, if I had time, I would probably landscape these areas at some time in the future. But these plants are just doing so well here. They're just so happy. And that's some pandan plant, pandan leaves, what we actually cook with them. And they're actually really fat, juicy leaves. I have a small pot of these just because I wanted to learn how to care for them in a pot. And there's a Calatheas ornata. I actually gave this to the gardener one time because I killed it in my room. It's not fully dead yet, but I told my gardeners, like, hey, you know, if you guys can rescue this, go ahead and do it. Put it anywhere you want because I'm killing this plant in my room. And apparently that's where they put it. Here's some more of that piper just hanging out in the breeze. If you were me, I would have put different pipers here because there's so many variants of them and they're so beautiful. They're the pink ones, silver ones, the bright eyes are really beautiful, and also they're what is it called? The cistus discolor is also really pretty. It would look really beautiful on this tree. So not to say that these guys aren't beautiful. I'm sorry, you guys are pretty too. And down below we have more Calatheas. And this is actually the Song of India. It's a variegated Dracina and more Calatheas. I don't know why I even bothered buying that many Calatheas when we have so many in the house. And here's another Song of Jamaica. We actually bought a huge one and put it in the music room. I did not know that we have a huge patch growing out here. And yeah, whoa, and this is a bed of Calatheas. You could just dive in here and it'll catch you. You won't hurt yourself if you just dove into this bush. Yeah, I guess they're doing quite well. I see some yellowing, probably a bit overwatered, but yeah, they're happy otherwise. And here's some more palms and Encephalardus. Some more of them. That's actually the old man's palm with the hairy leaves. Not leaves, I mean the hairy main stem. And if you guys want to know, I actually do grow edibles, and this is it. I'm so embarrassed to show you. So that's supposed to be a cherry tomato, I believe. I'm really bad with vegetable gardening. I don't know why. And here are some of, I believe, not cast iron. There's some pileas. I can't remember the names of them. And I love these palms. They actually have really beautiful fan-shaped leaves. And if you look at the stem again, it's very, very hairy. And I believe people use the hair for something else, probably for crafts and such. The middle of the leaves looks so beautiful. I can't stop staring at them. So nice. So my dad actually hounded me for days on end to film this plant because it's starting to flower. He's very excited about them. It's the Rucelia, and I don't know much about them except that they grow in full sun. They have fern-like leaves and they sway in the wind. They're very, very wispy. I guess that's the right way to pronounce it. And this is a close-up look of the plant and the flower that's very, very trumpet-shaped. I don't know what more to say about this plant. Again, my dad is super excited about them, and yeah, so here's some close-up for you. I guess some of them are red in color. Although when I Google image search this plant, most of them show up in red color, so the white is also quite interesting. These are actually quite difficult to pick up after, because after they bloom, everything just falls on the floor, on the ground, and people have to sweep them up. So I just realized that I may have been filming this whole thing without my microphone, because I had just replaced the battery. Apparently the microphone's flat, or I'm not sure, maybe I lost the power at some point in the tour, but now we probably have better audio. And this is a Sansevieria. I believe this is a hybrid. I'm not even sure, but it's quite beautiful. It's got very thick trunks and these beautiful lines running along them, and it's got a pink rim around it. Very, very pretty. And here we have more Sansevierias. And these are they look like air plants actually. Very cute. Very sharp edges too. Imagine, look at how sharp this is. Imagine running into this thing. You don't want to mess with it. No one's trying to put out a new leaf. Very cute. So this is the front of the house, and we have some really sad looking Pepperomia, what is this? Pepperomia Scandans Ferrigata. It used to trail down beautifully, but now it's just pretty sad with a lot of balding spots. So I'm not sure. I feel like I want to put something else in this area, because this place has potential for really pretty plants. Not to say that these aren't pretty. These are very cute, but I don't know. They look much better in tight hanging basket, hanging pots. So yeah, and they're actually very easy to grow, these guys. This area, and I'm not sure, I think that's a Bodhi tree. I'm not really familiar. And it's quite pretty when you look up. It's very serene. And actually the tree has so much potential for a lot of epiphytes to climb on. If I was an epiphyte, I would choose this tree or that tree. That tree is quite nice as well. So this is northeast facing. It doesn't get super crazy bright light, But yeah, as you can see, I imagine like orchids and stuff just growing on this tree. That would be so beautiful. It would be so nice. And in front of the house, dude, that's the hairy. I think these are palms, or maybe they're, I don't know if they're cycads or don't quote me on it. I don't know these species very well. They're my dad's plants. They're not my plants, but yeah, I just wanted to show you. And also, actually, my dad requested this video. He's like, "Film my plants. They're so cool. They're very expensive. People will love them." So here I am. Yeah, and there's some more Sansevierias. I keep wanting to say Dracinas. Yeah, over there. You know what? I'm actually going to get closer to them. They're so pretty. They deserve our attention. Yeah, that's the same one as the one that we saw above, and these ones are just doing so well. Look at that. And these are the babies, by the way. We put out these really cute baby plantlets. Ouch! It just poked me. And it will root itself to the ground below. It looks like somebody walking. It's like crawling away from its mama. And that one's doing the same thing too. Let me go around it. Yeah. Very cute. Look at that. It's just put out a runner, and then the runner just put out an aerial root down below, and it's ready to become its own plant. This one is in process of doing that. This is a very, very cute Sansevieria. I have a smaller one of these. I believe this is called the dwarf Sansevieria or the samurai. I don't know. They're so hybridized that I don't know anymore. This is quite a beauty too, this plant. It's very pretty. Look at these lines. Super nice. There's more cycads here. They're so all over the place. Yeah, I believe these are probably the babies, because I don't think my dad would buy so many of these for no reason. So we've had them for a long time, I guess. I always wonder how they're propagated. This one is very cute. Like, I think the popular houseplant version of this would be your Dion Edule. Did I say that right? It's very similar to these because they stay relatively small and they don't need this big like ground or pots to live in. Alright, so I guess that concludes the tour. Thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope that you've discovered some cool species today. I know that I have. I'm @botanist on Instagram. If you want to DM me there regarding your plant care and propagation questions, I'll try my best to get back to you. Meanwhile, do stay safe and take care. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.